Well, to start things off, practice was very different. A lot of nervous tension about what he would bring to the program, and I think a lot of us were afraid for the level of rigor that was to come. Well, ahead of the miss, we did what we expected to. We had a clean sweep ahead of the miss. So I was in the second varsity 8. That was such an exciting time. We were all really figuring out how to race a 2K again. It had been a long time since we had actually done a race. And our boat was a conglomerate of guys. We were all sophomores. We were trying to figure out how to row. This was our first varsity 2K for all of us. And this was obviously a very intense racing scene. It was one-on-one crews battling each other, trying to just fight out every meter on just the crew that's right next to you for the entire day. But we had a pretty amazing reckoning, and the learning we did between even just the first and the second race on the same day was incredible. Probably the highlight of that trip was our race against Rutgers. It was as classic as like a memorable race can go. It was really intense right from the start, back and forth, just inching up across. We started ahead, and then they pushed on into us, past the 800, into the 1,000, through the 1,500. They were creeping on us, but with 500 meters to go, we just dropped the hammer, did a super early sprint, got way ahead of them, and just held it into the end. And we were all so excited. It was like one of the biggest victories that our crew had the biggest victory I had ever been a part of. For me, it was especially important because my dad, when he rode in college, had raced Rutgers and won a shirt from them, and that was a shirt that I always felt a little awkward wearing because I had never beat Rutgers before. But after winning that duel and getting a shirt from Rutgers, I felt like I could wear it with pride. It was always in the back of our minds that we knew that if it was close, if we had to fight it out, that we were going to give everything. We watched how much it took to beat a crew when we raced Rutgers. There was nothing that you could hold back. It was a really disappointing defeat, but we knew we had to still bring it for the finals. When the finals came around, it was just as difficult of a fight. It was us, the Rutgers, the Notre Dame, and Connecticut, and UCLA, and it was down to the wire. All of us had road times that were very close to each other at Acros, and we just had to keep pushing through.
We kind of realized that about partway through the winter that we were only gonna really have a 4 and some spare rowers. Just we couldn't field an 8 anymore, which was super disappointing because that's what everyone wants to row. That's the most fun. But we kind of rolled with the punches in Georgia over spring break. There wasn't, just by virtue of not having many people, wasn't a whole lot of opportunities for seat racing. But I still felt that the guys that we had were not only dedicated, but pretty damn fast. So while there wasn't a huge opportunity to play with lineups, I was pretty confident that we still had a very fast boat. And what I also believe in is Scott talks about building racers and not just people who are fast on ergs. Really cultivating that mentality of whether you're down 2 seats or up 2 seats, what do you do how do you put yourself across the line first? But when you come up to the line with your heart rate like already idling at like a 170 because you know you're staring right across at someone else, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different race. And our captain, president, Caleb told me as a joke right before we pushed off for our finals at Macros, he said the key to winning is taking more harder strokes than anyone else. And,
they're going to have to do something
flag
to
goes
get
up,
on terms.
gets stretched out.
And now Michigan
Flag
State
drops,
has
and
regrouped itself.
we go.
We're back into this stroke-for-stroke race between Minnesota and Michigan State. But those little sort of flutters don't really work once you're up in these 4s and 8s. You can drastically affect the boat speed for a little bit, but unless it's a permanent lift, you can't maintain it. And then you spend a lot of energy and people come right back through you. This is gorgeous rowing by Minnesota. It'd be quite an impressive feat for a new coach to come in and take an Accra Gold in his first year. And that Minnesota boat is just starting to fly. And you can see it in their rowing that they feel comfortable. Oh, look at this. We have Ohio State coming back into Lafayette. And right now that's
Your only
third.
regret should come
Lafayette
from if you feel like
answering.
you have not done everything possible to put yourself in the best position to win.
Looks like
Yeah, and that was the race. Cool.
The season's looking pretty good.